Hi, today I'm going to teach you how to play Nautilus Support. And for people who are viewing, I apologize because I wanted to make a video on how not to play AD carry. And it was using the same champion, this support, but unfortunately that video it passed the 20 game mark, so I couldn't really see it. But if I do see another bad AD carry, I'll be sure to record it. Anyways, I guess we'll progress with this video. So the thing about Nautilus support is because of his kit where he just hooks in, that means he has to commit, or at least commit very heavily. The moment you do that, there's no turning back. Basically your AD carry either has to play it well, or he just like goes all into like really heavily. If you guys are already behind, be sure not to be so like happy hooking with your Nautilus hook, because unlike Blitzcrank, which positions their enemy like right into your where you hook, Nautilus is more like he repositions himself and repositions the enemy a little bit more more forward. But in most cases, I feel like Nautilus as a support is much stronger than Blitzcrank due to the fact that he's much more tankier. He scales much better into the late game, and also the fact that like his hooks are safer in some sense. Like you get away with most of the hooks. Like just think about it this way, where because you're more tankier than your than the average Blitzcrank, you have more freedom to hook wherever you want, even though you're not positioned as close to your team or your teammate, if anything. In addition, his hook is deceptively tanky. Like if you look at the hook range, it's slightly a bit more and a bit wider than a Blitzcrank hook. So as you can see here, I'm constantly using the hook to traverse back to lane. This now the thing about this is not only does getting hook on a terrain or champion reduces the cooldown, but it doesn't cost that much. It's pretty low cost. So it's good way to get to lane faster for anybody who doesn't know. So in most cases, as a Nautilus, you tend to want to hook when there's no wave, because the moment you hook, everything will be going into you, which is why you have to be kind of tanky. So here we're just farming. Both their support, the Braum, and me, the Nautilus, are trying to find an opening. But of course, since I have you have better wave clear, we get the opening first. And once the Braum shield is down, like Draven can't do much. Like Draven is really OP when he's fed, but when he's not fed, he just looks really stupid. So fast forward. Oh, there's another one. Something else about Nautilus is because you have a playmaking tool pre-6. Well, I was already 6, but because I have a hook, like I'm able to make plays pre-6. So my favorite place to roam would usually be mid, because mid tends to expect the jungler to gank, but it doesn't expect the bot lane to gank. And typical mid laners, as far as I can tell, they're not very adamant on vision, which is why they constantly get ganked. And then typical like gold plat players like rage. Why is the jungler here? Why didn't my jungler turn? Like, screw you. Like, if you get ganked, it's your fault. You're adamant on keeping your own vision. Like, yeah, the support could probably have called Mia on the other support, but then in most cases, if you're not paying attention to pings, if you're not paying attention to the map, it's technically your fault. Which is why when you're playing mid, you don't necessarily need to be mechanically skilled. You just, because you're in the middle lane, you're supposed to be watching out for rotations. You attempt to gank on him. I believe it doesn't work out because I walked into his gravity field. It's alright because like they came for a gank to gank. We know like Hecarim is here, so it doesn't work out for them either. Meanwhile, my Varus is probably just farming up due to his range. At this point, because like I exerted more pressure compared to Braum, he could just freely farm the lane without fear of Draven like chucking axes at him. Considering the score, Draven is probably done. So we get Dragon because we know they back and then we catch Braum off guard. He should not be there, but the fact that there's no vision, he should have considered twice before checking that area. Well, I guess in this game everybody's winning heavily, and then we just like found opportunities just to snowball it even higher. So this is another thing about playing AD carry. The moment I place this ward and I see no rotation here, and the fact that like we don't see Braum here, this calls for a 1v2. The Draven, knowing that his support is not here, should have just GTFO because you have a tanky Nautilus, you have what's it called? Yeah, Varus, who could like ult you and then like place you there. There's no way you're gonna get out, and then because of how this plays out, you know what happens. So basically, I tank it up, Varus holds, Draven continues to try to like fight both of us, but to be fair, you're not gonna get away with that. You were at 0-2 before, now you're at 0-3 against a 1v2. It's like it's basically like an easy win for us. So I guess maybe this is a little lesson as a AD carry. Don't be in a 1v2 in bot lane, especially when you're behind. You're not gonna win that. Like, it's better to suck up your pride and like give up the turret than lose a death, because you're bound to lose this turret anyways. The fact that you're so behind. And as a mid laner, after taking bot or when either side take bot, I have a tendency to try to get some mid control because like if you get mid, like this entire area of the map opens up for you, meaning like you have less fear of their vision and they have to like keep in check of their positioning more. Yeah, luckily their victor got out alive, but Hecarim had to bail him out. So this is a really similar situation to what the Draven was dealing with. So he's low on mana first of all. His Braum is recalling, so yes, he got out with his life, but look at how many summer spells he could burn, and like look at how low his AP. If I didn't miss my hook, he'd probably be dead. Hecarim had to bail him out. Maybe he didn't have to, but in any way, it was just a really poor decision making from the victor. Because of that, his Hecarim died, and this turret is still ours. So with that, we have free mid control, and then this game is like getting even closer to being hours. And with a Nautilus, it's technically very easy to just like pick people off like one by one. And because as we get more control, like I said, the mid, even though they have vision, the mid, because we won bot lane so hard and then we pressure mid control is already ours, so there's not much they can do. I believe they win this one. Yeah, they won. Vlad overextended, but that's just it's just a small victory. Like overall, they got one kill more, yes, but they're still behind due to like the amount of pressure we're just putting. We're not showing them any respect, man. At this point, I don't think we should show them respect based on how poorly they're playing. But yeah, they're winning like these small skirmish fights, but overall we're winning turrets, we're winning the dragons. We have better vision control than them, so this game eventually will be done. And Hecarim finally gets his Triforce, but because like he's been like destroyed so many times in the fight, he has to itemize like Merc Treads, basically stuff against anti-CC. Considering the amount of CC we have, like a knockoff, snare, stun, hook, and stun, slow, snare, slow. That's just really too much for them. They have CC too, but then they're getting blown up before they're able to like output their own sort of like disruption and damage. So we're just slowly clearing out the vision. Some of it we missed, but like overall they can't make use of their vision considering how much time they have. Vlad gets blown out, but because we're so ahead of them, we just like straight up win like team play after team play. And Draven cannot help because he's pushing that, just so you know. So we still get the Baron because we're that ahead, and then we continue to grab objectives. I believe what happened here? So basically, they picked the fight, but because we were so tanky for them, like the rest of the teammates just wait for rotation to come, and then we just pick them off slowly and slowly. See, look at that hook range. This is why I mean like Nautilus hook is very deceptively tanky. So I flash in, hook. Technically the hook range doesn't show it, but that is but I still got it anyway due to like how deceptively long it is. Maybe in the future Riot will fix it in order to show like a better indicator of the Nautilus hook range, but it's slightly longer than the Blitz hook, I feel. So if this is not over yet, they probably have like a bunch of siege minions to deal with. Pretty much everything. I was gonna opt for dragon, but because both sides picked the team fight, I decided just to show up for rotations. So things to note before closing out this video. Nautilus is somewhat like an all-in support, so you have to pick your engagement wisely since going in on an enemy has risks on both sides. If you're really behind, you have to pick the right targets, because if you pick the wrong targets, you will get your team killed. But if you pick the right targets in the beginning and you have favorable engagement, you could hook most people, if not all. Basically, whoever you hook, the situation on the other side will be unfavorable, so something to think about. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I hope to make another video soon. Hopefully more emphasis on how not to AD carry. Alright, see you next time.